Go to Atlanta, all right? Go to Atlanta, and I'm gonna tell y'all who will accommodate y'all. Gocha's Breakfast Bar and Gocha's Tapas Bar. Go to Gocha shit and tear up her shit. And with that being said, I'm gonna bring Gocha on the line. Gocha, what's going on?
What's up? Oh,
You want to accommodate the people for spring break, Gocha? Y'all go to Gocha shit, tear up her shit. She got drink specials. She got hookah. She'll let you bend your ass over and let your coochie breathe. And when y'all get to fighting and your hair weave come out, Gocha used to do hair. So she could fix all of that. Spring break people, please go to Atlanta and go to Gocha's Tapas Bar and go to Gocha's Breakfast Bar and go to Gocha. Just go to all things Gocha. She'll accommodate y'all. Gocha, what's going on, friend?
Cheers to you, boo.
Cheers to you, baby. Y'all know I got my dirty Taco Bell cup I be drinking my water out of. Gocha, when my people reached out to me and they said Gocha wanted to come on the show, I said, absolutely, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. And before we jump into it, Gocha, I have to say, friend, you know, we've been friends for quite some time. I am so proud of you, and I am so proud of this pivot that you have made and this transition into becoming a restaurateur. And I want to talk about all of that. So Gocha, go ahead and tell the people who you are, where you came from, and we're going to get into what's going on.
So basically, I'm Gocha Hawkins. A lot of people may know me from being on LA Hair or the famous, I dated him too, the Roger Bobsville. If not, if you don't know me from there, then you know me from Gocha's Breakfast Bar or Gocha's Tapas Bar. Those are my restaurants here in Atlanta. And I've done hair for like over 30 years. So if you don't know me from one of those spots, then I don't know who you are, what rock you've been under.
So, you know, I know Gocha from Atlanta, from the scene, from doing hair. You know, I met her, you know, through the Candies and the Toyas and the Tinies and, you know, all that little Atlanta crowd right there. And she, you know, was on the sets and doing all the celebrity hair. And for those y'all don't know Gocha, you know, as somebody who was a bystander, you know, her reputation was, oh, look, the cute little girl that owned that little fancy salon that be doing everybody's hair. Gocha, how long were you in the cosmetology business and what made you walk away from it?
I was doing hair for over 30 years and I feel like 30 years was long enough. I never wanted to be that person to be like, I'm 65 and I'm still doing hair. So I knew that at some point I wanted to make a pivot. And when the industry started changing, when social media came about, it was like, okay, a lot of chicks on here doing hair for free and all that for likes. And I felt like that didn't pay my bills. I couldn't take that to Georgia Power. It's like, okay, I need to figure out what's the next move. And I've always cooked, and that's what something that people don't know about me. I've always cooked. My friends, they always come over to my house and congregate, and it's like I'm cooking, we're drinking, having a good time. And all my friends is like, hey, you need to open up a restaurant. I'm like, restaurant? Like, first of all, I never thought I could open a restaurant because I never made anything by recipe. You know, like how we cook is like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
That's how Black people cook.
I was terrified to open a restaurant because I was like, how is the food going to be consistent? When somebody comes, you know, like the second time, how is it going to taste the same? So that was the thing that was terrifying me to even open up a restaurant. By 2008, the market crashed, and I actually went through a breakup. I had a rough time. However, I moved to Atlanta 2010. I moved to the Southwest side 2014. It wasn't a restaurant on this side as far as mom and pop breakfast. And I was like, it would be a perfect opportunity to open a breakfast restaurant off Cascade. And the rest was history. I found a spot and we opened December 23rd, 2018, and we've been busy ever since.
You know, I've definitely been seeing your stuff on social media, and I can definitely vouch. Not only are you busy, it looks like y'all are over there having a good time. And I remember when I saw it, I don't know about some of y'all out there in different cities. Um, Outside of Denny's, Waffle House, IHOP, you know, I personally was not familiar with just like a breakfast spot or a brunch spot. What made you decide to niche yourself in the breakfast brunch spot versus just being a traditional restaurant?
There was not anybody in my lane at the time. You know, there's a lot of people who have come up in Atlanta behind me, you know, so I'm great. I'm grateful and, you know, excited to be a trailblazer. You know, like there was no breakfast. Like there was Waffle House, there was IHOP, there was Denny's, and it was also Thumbs Up. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as you know, a black entrepreneur, you know, like owner, that didn't exist in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. You
And
know, it's one thing, and I want you to speak to this. Excuse me, there are a lot of people out there who can cook very well, and their friends always say, "Ooh, girl, you need to open a restaurant." But business is not for everybody. Just because you can cook don't mean your ass need to open up a restaurant. And just because you got a business and you a woman don't make you a business woman. What were some of the challenges that you faced opening up these restaurants? And what are some of the personality attributes that you think a woman who cooks must possess in order to be successful in opening up a restaurant?
I think at the end of the day, because I did hair for 30 years and I was an entrepreneur, owned my own salons, I've always had the attitude as business is business at the end of the day. How you treat people, the service, the consistency, like those things don't change.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that when I did open a restaurant that I knew that I wouldn't struggle in that department,
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like when I go somewhere, I want to be treated a certain way. And I felt like as long as I kept that in my mind, how I wanted to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
that I would give that same service to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why till to this day, still to this day, that if you look on Google, our reviews, like across all of our restaurants, they're 4.7, 4.8, 4.9. That's very hard to do in this industry. And not only that, we have 100 health score in all the restaurants with
Nope. So no roaches.
98.
No roaches. No rats. No hair in the
None of
food.
that.
That's what 100 health score mean. Continue.
And I just got awarded the golden spoon, you know, spatula here in Atlanta for having 100, you know, on our health score. And everybody
Congratulations.
in the industry knows that is not easy to come by.
Congratulations.
But you know, I just
Congratulations.
feel like at the end of the day, it's all about service, how you treat people, how you want to be treated, and you know, consistency. Those things
Mhm.
are extremely important in doing business, and that's any business, not just restaurant business.
So let's like you said earlier, we know you from LA Hair. Those who are, well, some of us know you from LA Hair. Quite frankly, I didn't like you on LA Hair because I knew you in real life,
Mm.
and I didn't like the way that they were trying to, the character that they were trying to make you be on LA Hair. And though we've never talked about it, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say you didn't like having to be that character either on LA Hair, did you?
I didn't. I felt like LA Hair was extremely scripted, and
Mm-hmm.
I had to play the role that they wanted me to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so coming out of that experience, number one, coming out of LA Hair, and then number two, with you knowing so much behind the scenes stuff of how this reality TV stuff works, because a large group of your girlfriends are on television and have been for a long time. Did that make you want to get back in reality TV, or did it make you want to shy away from reality TV?
No, I after LA Hair, you know, they offered me a spinoff, and I was to do a spinoff, but the cast protested. When the cast protested, there was no more spinoff for me. So
Wow.
that last scene of LA Hair that you saw with John Paul, like at my opening in Atlanta, all of that, that was the leading into the spinoff.
Wow.
And then the cast got upset and they were like, no, we've been on here for all these years and we weren't offered a spinoff and blah, 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 blah. And when that happened, the network was like, hey,
They folded.
yeah, if y'all don't come back to work, then we're going to replace you. And so they actually did not believe that the network would replace them. That's how we ended up with the cast that we ended up with that last season.
Wow.
That last season, that cast that they chose, they were doing too much, too extra, and it just didn't work.
And the show collapsed. Wow.
And Kim was a part of that fold too, because she didn't understand the game.
Wow. Listen, y'all, we got some tea. Never knew that. Honestly and truthfully, from a viewer standpoint and as somebody that watches reality TV, I honestly thought they just had a bad season. Nobody was watching it no more, and it went off. I would have never known. The hateration is real. The hateration is real, and it's so funny how people can cut off their nose to spite their face. I've got a similar story with WeTV, and you guys have known this. I was going to be a part of a show called Fashion Mob that Candy and Todd produced. It was me, Marlo Hampton, Rico Chappelle, a few other people, and I told y'all we were all set to shoot. I was supposed to come back to Atlanta. They had the production people in place, and a week before we were to start shooting the show, I get a call from Candy. I'll never forget. I was in Uber coming from Wendy's, and I get a call from Candy, and they said, basically, because Marlo and Rico were being difficult with their contracts and would not sign their contracts, she said that the network said that they were not in the habit of creating monsters, and that if they are this difficult right now, they can only imagine how difficult they will be later. And they scrapped the whole show. And this was after they had hired the showrunner, the team. We had some contracts. We had a film date to start. And it was very disappointing. But all in all, much like for me and much like for you, things worked out. So tell us about Bold and Bougie, how this came about. What do you expect to get out of and how that journey's been for you?
Yeah, so Bold and Bougie has been a great experience so far. I met Carlos years ago, and most people probably know that when the Roger Bob whole scene, I dated him, came about, Carlos was the producer on the show of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And so that was my first experience with Carlos. And after that, we've just became really good friends throughout the industry. And they called me about this show, Bold and Bougie, and they were like, hey, we're filming a show or whatever, and we just want to see if you're interested. And I wanted to know what was the premises of the show. And basically, it was about your business and your personal life and just, an ensemble cast. And I was like, okay, well, who's the cast members? And, they told me it was like Malaysia and Crystal and Tamika and so forth. And I was like, okay, so that's cool. I was like, okay, so sure, I'll count me in. Well, like in Atlanta, it's like, people, but you don't really know them. So it's like, it's been a great experience, but I didn't really know people as much as I thought I knew them. But Malaysia and I, we go like way back. I used to do Malaysia's hair back in the day. And not only that, I used to hang with Malaysia back in LA when I was on LA Hair.
Mm-hmm.
So we were really cool. And we were the only ones that actually hung out. But everybody else, I just knew them from being around in Atlanta.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, listen, Gocha, this has been amazing talking to you. For those y'all who don't know Gocha, I'm glad that y'all got to get a little taste of who my friend is, Bold and Bougie. As a matter of fact, I come off the air at 9. Bold and Bougie comes on every Thursday at 9 on WeTV. But Gocha, for those who are unfamiliar with you, give us your social media handles, your names of your businesses, where they can find you, and let us know what you've got coming up next.
Yep. So I'm Gocha Hawkins on all social media. And as far as the restaurants, is Gocha's Breakfast Bar and Gocha's Tapas Bar. And they can find me on all social media. But I have a product line that I'm launching, which is a gourmet line of grits and pancakes, which is tasty, flavorful, and convenient. So all you have to do is add water. So people come from all around the world to get our pancakes, and you now can purchase them and have them in your home.
That is amazing, Gocha. I am so proud of you. You guys be sure to check out Gocha's Breakfast Bar, Gocha's Tapas Bar, and them grits and them pancakes. And Gocha, as soon as you get some marketing materials for them grits and them pancakes, send it over to me. I'm gonna post them on all my platforms. Friend, it was amazing talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you. I miss you. When are you coming back today?
Oh, I'll be up there for a whole week next month, the week of the 22nd, because I'm hosting Trucking Expo. I'm doing a day party somewhere. I'll be up there for a whole week. So I'll call you and let you know. We'll get together and catch up.
Yeah, make sure you do that.
All right. Sounds good, Gocha. You have a good night, baby.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye. Gocha Hawkins, everybody. My friends be doing it. I love to see successful people dipping and doing, and my girl is doing it. Y'all be sure, and her food is real